pull your screen back. There you go. Hey, guys. All righty. It is Monday. I could even hear that. How are we all doing today, guys? I hope you had a great weekend. That's a good song. I think that was Billy Idol?
PM Dawn.
Yeah, everything's PM Dawn. I got to take my script with me. So, what do we got crack-a-lackin' today? What'd you see?
Can't read this one on.
Can't read it?
Can't read this one on air.
Okay. Here, hand it over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it on there. Let's. Hi, Johnny.
That's him up all the way. I don't know why I don't hear him.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep.
I can't hear you.
Oh, fuck this fucking mouse, dude.
I'm just gonna mute them until they figure.
That's great.
Why
That's great.
I don't know.
All right, so Johnny's working on his volume here in a second, guys. Let's go with some questions. What do we got so far?
Let's try to go back in.
Exit out of here? Okay.
Hi, Mary. How you doing, Mary? What is crack-a-lackin'?
How old are you?
Okay.
Awesome weekend, except the wife tweaked her lower back doing deadlifts.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, little setbacks like that. Main thing is just keep going.
Exactly.
Chiropractor, red light therapy. Red light therapy too is one that I've grown to really love, and I notice it when I play with water. I find that there's a stiffness to the body, and the red light therapy really helps me with the stiffness. It opens it up and stuff.
I got it all the way up here, too.
So Johnny can't hear us. Still, all right.
1 second, Mike.
No sweat, buddy.
I apologize. I can't get this.
In the meantime, we'll keep going on this. What do we got?
So the red light, you feel more movement, or it adds something to you? So
when I deplete water, you can imagine how that feels. It's you're stiff. You know, it's not as fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I do red light, it really opens it up. And then on top of it, at the same time, it gets the blood flow going without doing any kind of exercise. So I recommend it. Get her to do that. And then also I would recommend her doing a chiropractor.
Who's better, Chrissy or Heath?
I see.
Ooh, Chrissy, 100 times better. 100 times better. Johnny, anything yet?
I'm here, finally.
Okay, good. We got Johnny back. Now I can really speak on this one here. The difference is Chrissy really runs the business. She knows what's going on, and she also knows about all the new age stuff, which I'm going to actually do a class with this young lady right here and learn. John, I think you should jump in on this too, man. Chrissy really knows. She really knows just the concepts of computers, sites, funnels, all those kind of things. And ChatGPT. Yeah, she really does. She'll give me some great insight. Great insight. Now, Heath Evans, the one thing Heath can do, and I've never seen anybody be able to do this, is the amount of donuts and sugar this man can eat and keep moving forward. I said it is an impressive calorie intake. But that being said, it's always good seeing you, Chrissy. We miss you guys, miss the family.
380 test considered low. Well, Depends on what scale you get the blood test done at, but majority of the time, this is
Let's
going
go
to
off with let's go off with basic, isn't it? Isn't 380 basically low both sides, kind of, and depending on age, right?
is clinically low if you're 263 or 264 under. So technically 380, you would not be considered low. Yeah, you'd be normal, but on the lower end of normal. Would you feel normal? Probably not. You're probably not going to feel your best at all. You're going to probably feel in the dumps. You're probably going to have no energy. Your body's probably not going to look the best. You're probably not performing at your best. And at that point, you're probably not thinking your best. So, this is something that, not just a number dictates, am I low? It really dictates of how you feel, and you take the number and you put those things together. And then at that point, you say, listen, well, I am clinically low or I'm not clinically low. So if you're clinically low under 263, then, hey, listen, you need testosterone. Some doctors at 380 are like, hey, listen, you're normal. You're not clinically low, so we're not going to prescribe you. But you have all these symptoms of low testosterone. So at this point, if you have all those symptoms and you're at 380, then at that point, it is a lower number. Like if somebody came here through 380, we definitely put them on testosterone as long as they're healthy and everything's good and they wanted to go on that kind of program. A couple days later, maybe a week after they start taking it, maybe 2 tops, they start feeling better right away. Those numbers starts jumping up. Testosterone really starts doing what it's supposed to be doing. Those receptors take it in, and you're feeling, a lot better, right? You're feeling like I always describe it like this. When I was 28 years old and I had low testosterone, and at that point, when I got on testosterone replacement therapy, it was like opening the blinds for the first time and seeing the sun. You really didn't know what you were missing until you seen it. And you're like, oh, wow, like this is what I'm missing right now. I used to call it the Walking Dead complex because I used to have it. I used to get up, do my responsibilities, go train at the gym, do all that stuff. And at that point, I had low testosterone. So I would get up and do my routine like a zombie, going and knowing I had to do it, but I wasn't feeling my best. Obviously, I wasn't getting the best out of my body, or I wasn't the healthiest I could possibly be. And after I got testosterone, after being low like that, it totally changed the game. And that's why I'm here doing what I'm doing right now. I mean, at that point, like it was such a game changer for me. And when I seen everybody else being low or very deficient, I was like, man, this is going to be a game changer for so many other people just like me, that people are they're going to rave about this. They're going to want this. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly to a T. Exactly. I mean, I'm not a soothsayer or a future teller, but I could see right then and there. I told Sharice, like clear as day, right when I knew we were going to do this, I knew it was going to be something big. I knew it. So at that point, it really did, turn into it. So super cool. But yeah, you have 380, you're probably low. And that's only your total testosterone. Maybe your free testosterone is low too. So not only do you have a small reservoir, but you might be taking little from that reservoir and utilizing in the body.
Yeah, I agree with you, Johnny, on all that. So what do you think his free testosterone would be at? And what's your best advice right now, not knowing his age, not knowing his energy level or his strength level or his mind capacity right now at 380?
Yeah, 380, I would say, listen, if you're having those symptoms, then it's time to get on. It is. It doesn't matter where your free testosterone is at this point. I've had guys where, they have free testosterone above range and they're at 380. They still aren't maximizing everything they possibly can, right, at this point. So, I mean, it might make you feel a little bit better to pop that free testosterone up. Like, we'd be like, hey, listen, let's pop some Danazol, let's go. But at that point, you're really not going to get all the benefits, and you're not going to truly feel all the differences that you possibly can if you're on testosterone replacement therapy for low like this. I'm telling you, it is truly a game changer. For the people that need it, it is the right way to go, right? As long as health's in check and everything's in, it is the right way to go. If you don't need it, I would say stay away from it. Start using peptides. Start using some of these weight loss. Whatever you're trying to do, there's other things out there that will hopefully get you to the goal. If you're trying to just be a mass monster and like you're trying to get the stacked and jacked look, we actually have that with Hercules Potion Hexerone this week. So at that point, you get stacked and jacked, right? It's got Mike on there. He's stacked. He's jacked. I was at one point. So, you can get all these great benefits, feel your best, and then get that muscle, that lean muscle mass. Well, we've never really geared a package towards being stacked and jacked. The reason is because, I've had to soften the image of Titan Medical Center through the years. When we started off, everybody thought it's just bodybuilders. I don't want to be big. I don't want. They still told Drew today. I seen somebody tell Drew the other day, like, I don't want to look like you. And he's like, you'll never look like me. Trust me. He gave me the arm line. So at that point, like, you know, you're not going to get just stacked and jacked, period. You still, if you want to be big, like, you still got to have the size, let's say a Mike or a Drew or whoever it is, to be able to have that frame. You're not going to grow a frame like that. I don't care what it takes. So, you know, this is the package we geared towards. Hey, listen, you want to put on lean muscle mass, you really want to get that physique going, then these two things put together are going to be a real good way to do it.
John, I got a question for you. Is it true, in your opinion, that if you do get better, let's say you have a 380, 400 range, if you're exercising very hard, that also, when you get tested, brings down that number a bit. And let's say hypothetically, there's a chance that, so maybe you're in the 4s, but you're training hard, so that's bumping the numbers down. On top of that, you're not sleeping that well. And so maybe if you do something like a MK, you sleep better, you'd get better growth hormone release at that time, more sleep, more recovery. And if you're not overtraining and you pull the training back, your testosterone would kind of go up a bit just naturally. Is this true, or is this just horseplay?
You know, you take MK and we're getting better sleep, raising growth hormone levels. You might bump the testosterone levels a little bit, right? If you're giving your body like ample sleep, you're not running into the ground, you might bump up 100 or 200 points. I don't see people bumping up 300-400 points from sleep and recovery. Otherwise, people would be doing it all day and they'd be sleeping. I mean, most people that have low testosterone are sleeping a lot more than the guys that have high testosterone. So at that point, think about that, you know, and it's like at that point, like they're more tired, their body's more weary, it doesn't have as much energy, you know, mental clarity's not there. You know, so at that point, like, I think you should get the rest and try that. But, you know, I mean, I haven't had too many people like really, really turn it around like you can, right? Like they can turn around. Like if you're like a 500 and let's say you do this and you bump 100, 200 points and you're feeling all right, like, hey, listen, that's great. That's good. I like that. But if you're at 300, you're bumping into a 500, you're probably still not going to feel your best, even at 500. You know, we look at these numbers today and what the reference range is. That's right now, right? Back then, let's say, listen, 5-10 years ago, Mike, these reference ranges were higher. Before that, they were higher. It's proven that the generations before us had higher testosterone levels, right? We're losing testosterone as we age.
Yeah.
The other thing that's going down in males, and you guys want to look it up, is the Y chromosome. Y chromosome is what a male is, okay? So if you look at X chromosomes, female, Y chromosomes are male. You look at the concentration of the Y chromosome in males now. I had to pull up the exact thing, but I think it was like, I want to say it was like 4% of what it used to be.
Wow.
So that means that not only are we going to lose out on male masculinity, we're talking about going to a whole different era of a chromosome, which is super weird.
Yeah.
But at that point, yeah, I mean, I think that we need masculinity. I think that we need testosterone levels, and not only men, females too as well, at an optimal healthy range. And this isn't to get stacked and jacked. This is to be healthy, and that's what it's all about. What was the percentage, Jeff? I know you're looking it up.
1% every year.
Yeah, since like 1987, 1% every year it's going down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. So again, just so I understand, for anybody out there that does have low T, and the guy that did say his was at 380, please let us know your age, also what your free is at, and side effects. Are you energetic? Do you have good energy? Do you lift well? Does everything seem fine? And just the number itself made you concerned. I'd love to know that, because I know there's a lot of talk about it's not so much the number as it is how you actually feel. And then there's the underlining layer, like all of us. How much pain are we in that we actually deal with and assume that it's normal? And that's a metaphor for, is your energy actually good, or are you just continuing to push forward being a tough, strong man of today's world? I know most Navy SEALs are low and they don't do anything for it, but they're still savages. And so I think they're just that kind of guy that kind of pushes through it. So anything to add to that, John?
I just want people to get tested and know where they're at. And at that point, you might not think there's anything wrong. Like I said, there's people that are wired ways where, they have low testosterone, they're going to do what they have to do because that's who they are.
I'll give you an example. I got a great example, and John and Titan Medical did this for us. I have a baby mama that was at 10%. It was 10. Her T level was at 10, and I guess a good for a woman is 50. That range.
Yep.
Now, if anybody knows Mona, she doesn't sit still. She's doing 5 things at once. I haven't watched a movie with her in 10 years. She's the kind that's up doing something, working on something, making a phone call, comes back, sits down, takes the kid, goes for the dog walk, comes back, doesn't stop. And then we have a friend who's not in the greatest shape, has some issues with the body, tired, out of shape, doesn't eat well, with a T level of 50. And so that's an interesting. We have one that walks around looking like a superhero with very low T. And then we have another one that has great T that doesn't. And my point there is that for anybody out there that you assume you look good, you feel good, still go test it. Make sure that everything's, because let's skip, and I think Johnny can agree and Jeff will agree. There's parts of it, if you are going around with low T, there's side effects from having low T. Health concerns, prostate problems. So as life goes, bone density problems. So, John, can you go into any of that kind of stuff? Because I think if the person looks good, like I would say that Hugh Jackman never has to go do it. He's 50. He looks like he is a superhero, but he's smart enough to go do that because he knows the inside is different. The like you said, the car engine is different than how the body looks.
That's right.
So kind of go into that. I think these guys don't realize the concept of visual on the shell compared to the engine.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, we see it a million times over. You might see the most fantastic looking physique, female or male, you've ever seen in your life. But that doesn't mean in the inside it's healthy, right? Or you may see somebody, with a horrible physique and everything is looking great on the inside.
Yeah.
This really comes into terms of, what you're going to really do with what you got. Okay. And then there's people, like I said, that are wired different ways. Mona's definitely one of them, who it doesn't matter what internally is going on. She's going to get the job done, right? Whatever it is. Street's the exact same way. I'm the exact same way. I know you are, Mike. So, at that point, but let's say it's better, right? Like if you're already doing all these things and you want to be better, that's kind of where it really comes into play. And a lot of people don't recognize better. I tell people all the time, I'm like, they're like, oh, I feel great. Like I'm having great sex with the wife. Like everything's fine. I don't think I need like testosterone or anything like that. Like, well, I mean, let's blood test and see what's going on, right? And then I'll explain to them when they come back with a blood test and they may be low in testosterone. And they're like, man, there's no way. Like, how is this, right? So I'll tell them, I'm like, well, think about it like this. You bought a 2000 Cadillac brand new from the dealership. You parked in your garage. It has maybe 100 miles on it. You detail it every week. That thing is premier, pristine condition, right? You've taken care of it every possible way you can. Just like somebody has a healthy body. They're eating right. They're sleeping. They're drinking water. They're exercising. Same way. Compare those. Brand new 2025 pulls up to you. You get in and you're like, whoa. More horsepower, the leather's a lot more comfortable, riding on airbags, feels like a cloud. You're like, man, like this is what I was missing, right? It's upgraded. It's a better version of what you already had. And that is exactly what we want to do for people. Because as we age, nobody is imperious of something happening to them as far as declining. It's going to happen. We're going to decline, we're going to be deficient, or things are going to start going down, and you're going to be able to balance them. That's the difference between somebody just letting it go. The most ignorant thing I see in some of these groups, and I'm in a lot of the different groups, is I might see like a 50 or 60-year-old like, well, I'm natural, right? All right, well, great. You're natural. You have low testosterone. It's taking you a lot hard. You're not working smarter. You're working harder, and it might not be the healthiest way for your body to even go about it. So, there's some ignorance with some of these statements out there where, listen, if you have the tools and you can be healthy about doing it, like slowing down the clock, stopping the clock, even hopefully reversing it in some cases, right? Then hell yeah. Who would say no to that? Anybody that says no to that is being ignorant, they're being stupid, not really thinking about it all the way. They're just being hard-headed and stubborn. Or by answering that they can't do it, they're pissed off about it. I don't know. But there could be a number of different things. But if the tools are there for you, if I said, well, you're not going to have a house, but here's all the lumber, here's all the nails, here's the hammers, here's the diagram. Go ahead. If you want a house, go ahead and build it. Somebody that really wants, and the rain's coming, so you better hurry the hell up. So you're going to try to build a house as best as possibly can if you have the tools there. Same thing. If you have the tools and you can do it like that, then you know what I mean. There's no wrong. Abusing is another thing, but enhancing or optimizing is a whole different story. It should definitely be acceptable by everybody, and people should be wanting that instead of going through life not optimized, down in the dumps, feeling like garbage. What kind of life is that?
John, so earlier you talked about, the guy maybe has 380 test. Some people may have 380 and they feel fine. They're not feeling those symptoms. They're not tired. They're not depressed. What are some other things that could be going on that they don't see externally that we may not know?
I talk about all the time, like mental clarity, like foggy thinking. It's right on the tip of your tongue that you can't get it out. There's receptors in the brain for testosterone specifically. So it's not just a physical thing. It's not just, I can get erections or I can build muscle. That's like the furthest thing. Like, yes, those are great side effects of having an optimal testosterone level. But really, when we talk about like mental clarity or even the way that the body's working, right? When we talk about metabolism and sugar levels and stuff like that, these are affected by testosterone. Or even when we talk about like osteoporosis in women or even men, as they age, right, the bones start getting weak and thin and brittle. And as they get older, when they have that one fall, then they usually do this like seniors. They usually break a femur, and that's their leg. And when that happens, usually they're like, depending on the age, you're probably done. So how do you go against this? How do you prevent osteoporosis? Well, testosterone is a major one to help. It's going to help, defeat almost osteoporosis as you're getting older. So if you're getting older, and let's say, you're 45, 50 years old, and your levels come back low, and at that point you go on testosterone. You will not have, and you stay on it, you won't have to worry about osteoporosis in the future. That's one major thing that I tell people all the time, because usually older people fall, and usually they break their bones because they're brittle.
Insightful, because that's one of the things that I think we always talk about. At some point, we're all losing this battle. So one of the biggest things I say is, the point of training, eating, and living this life is, and I said this the other day on Jesse Lee Peterson's podcast, it's I'm okay not living 100 if the last 30 is on an oxygen tank and I'm on the couch and all I'm doing is watching TV and putting everybody out. I want to live the best quality at the highest level to where I can still tussle and live life. And so if that's 60, if that's 70, cool. And I don't think people realize that has to be set up years and years before. You don't get to decide at 55 and go, well, I'm 55 now I'm going to take care of my health. It's like, okay, you can get a little better, but man, there's such damage. You left the barbecue out all the time. There's rust on it, man. There's a lot of work to do, and it's harder to fix something than to prevent it. So can you kind of go into that, like preventative care, let's not let the bone density go down. Let's not let the testosterone problems cause, for men and women, because this was a huge one for Mona. Huge, right? And let's start being preventive. We've always been trained, you know what? We're not going to mess with it unless it's broke. Western medicine has been taught, and this is how doctors are.
we're not going to fix it unless it's broken. It's broke, we'll fix it. We're not going to be preventative about it. We're not going to maintenance it. We're not going to look at making sure that it doesn't happen. But when the situation does happen, or the occurrence of the event, then we're going to help you. And then we're going to give something to hopefully make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's not preventative. So on this side, how can you be preventative? Right? And I always talk about this. I'm talking about blood testing right away. Right? Blood testing is one way to really look at a lot of different things and see, hey, listen, is there something that's off that I might need to fix? I might need to optimize here. And then not even talking about that, but like, taking care of your body too as well. Like, let's say you're sports, right? Peter, and this is something you should be teaching your kids right away is recovery. And recovery is a big thing too, because, if you go out there and just abuse yourself and beat down yourself, you're going to be in a bad situation later. So, recovery is another thing that I think are big. I mean, along with peptides, I think peptides are a major thing for preventative medicine too as well. But I think being preventative is just being ahead of the curveball, right? Being able to hit it, but being ahead of it. So at that point, you're not waiting, you're not the guy that's saying, well, I haven't been to a doctor in 8 years and thinking it's cool, right? Well, at that point, I don't think that's cool. You haven't had a blood test in 8 years. You haven't had any checkups, no diagnostics. Like, how do you know you're all right? There could be something in you that's growing, like a tumor per se. You wouldn't know until it really got really, really bad. So at that point, I always tell people, like, be preventative, not even just blood testing, not even just for hormones, but diagnostics. Like, we talk about these things like the prostate. So getting a colonoscopy, getting an endoscopy, like doing some certain things in diagnostic testing at these certain points in ages, you have to do it. So, or you should be doing it. And if you're not doing it, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I have to set my colonoscopy up here very shortly. So I'll be giving you a step-by-step of how that went. But it's important. It really is important. It's important to be preventative because at that point, if you do find something in early stages, you can fix it hopefully, and you're not going to be terminal or nothing else as bad is going to happen to you. And it's not just about you. It's about your loved ones around you too as well. So think about them. Just don't think about yourself.
On the colonoscopy, I just learned something. Make sure that they check the right side of the colonoscopy, just for anybody out there. Most of the times they're just check the left side. I didn't even know this. I thought they just check.
Right.
Yeah, I thought they just checked everything. And I guess that is not so. The right is not always checked. So make sure that you get that done. All right. That's just a tidbit to anybody out there that's 45 or over. Little side note, I did not know. So.
Speaking of left versus right, you want to pop that up?
Oh, throw that bad boy up there.
I'll show you a little left versus right.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah,
Those traps.
Right there. Yep. Whoa.
So we're just throwing that up there just for a sec to give you an idea that I tried to take care of my health the very best I possibly could from the start.
So you lost weight.
But I did lose weight. I do admit that I lost 4 pounds. It took me that long to lose 4 pounds. So that being said, you can pull that off of there. I want people to understand that John didn't wake up and look like this. John's been lifting and consistent, and Jeff's been lifting and consistent, even though Arnold teases Jeff every day. But the point is that I hope you guys understand that this is the best way to look at it. Is it's a journey. It's a fun journey. And like Johnny always says, man, it's not that you have to do it. You get to do it. And so make sure that you're taking care of your health and getting in there. Johnny, what do we have this week for peptide of the week, or is there anything else we have going on right now?
Hell yeah. We got the Jacked and Stacked Titan High Performance Package with Hexarelin and Hercules Potion. You save $75 on this package. Hashtag Titan Gains or mention Mike's name, and you guys will get the discount. So want to give something. We've never done anything like literally like geared towards getting jacked and stacked because I'm just trying to soften the image of the brand. It's just crazy, right? So, she's like, I think we should, do something, like geared towards that. And I'm like, she's like writing up all these different things. I'm like, well, what do you want to say? She's like, I want to get these guys like jacked and stacked. I'm like, that's just put that. Jacked and stacked. Guys will definitely respond to that. Guaranteed. Like, there's a lot of guys out there, and I would say 80% of them want to be jacked and stacked. Maybe the other 20%, maybe not. Who cares? 80% of those guys want to be jacked and stacked. I don't care what they say. They want to be jacked and stacked. So what can we pair that could really be good for these people to utilize? And with Hexarelin, that works by itself. That we get amazing results with patients with Hexarelin, just building mass. And then obviously Hercules Potion. If you haven't tried it, it is a game changer, guys. I'm telling you. And it's all natural, 9 amino acids. So this is something that everybody can pretty much use across the board. No blood testing is required. It's very simple and easy to do. And at that point, I think they're going to get great results with this. So Titan, jacked and stacked, ultimate gains, anti-fatigue, super pump, and a lot more. $75 off, ends this week. So all you guys have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork, and then you get put on the schedule to see the provider. Nationwide service, guys. Nationwide service. And if you do want blood testing, you guys go on TitanMedicalCenter.com, and you guys can buy your full blood panel right there. And that's what we got going on this week.
John, I see this one pop up all the time.
Rad 140?
Just use Rad 140. Could you educate the people real quick?
Sure. So I wouldn't use Rad 140. I wouldn't use any SARM whatsoever. And then you're going to ask me why. SARMs are
Well, hold on, John. John, you run this company. You've helped millions of people. Rad here says, I'm on Rad's side. See, he looks like a very positive role model at this point, somebody that really knows his stuff. I mean, it's a great photo of him on the motorcycle, right? And his degree in
photo.
He's got a lot of followers.
And he's got a lot of followers. How was he got 6?
He's got 6 followers.
He's got 6 followers. So this guy's definitely lived it. Now I know, John, this is your business and stuff, but I was always told if I'm going to go on a journey, never ask advice of the man that's never left his house.
Yes.
Now I don't know how that plays into this situation. Oh, wait a minute. He hasn't left his house. Oh, my bad. John, please continue. Continue.
Listen, guys, don't stay away from Rad 40 or any other song. For the quick benefit that you might get out of it, it's going to double down negative against you. 2 different ways. Liver toxicity is going to be one, right? So your liver enzymes are going to be shooting up, which is not good for a lot of different things in your body. That's processing everything. The next thing is it's going to suppress your natural production of testosterone. So that means it's going to cut it off. Why? Why do a post-cycle therapy for a SARM? If you're going to do that, you might as well go on testosterone. Now you're going to get the real thing. And if you quit that, your levels are going to be cut off unless you do a proper post-cycle therapy. So at that point, if I had to pick between the two, I definitely took testosterone a million times over. But if I was a younger guy and I had good natural testosterone levels and I didn't need testosterone, I would be looking at peptides, ECA Stack Plus. Like, we're talking about Rad 140. How much are you going to gain off Rad 140, right? I see guys like, I gained like 5 or 10 pounds of muscle, and they didn't look good. I was like, man, how much water did you gain on that? So at that point, like, I would be looking at different things to help you get to where you want to go instead of using SARMs. There's a lot of different options on the table, a lot healthier, and a lot more that are not going to cut off your natural production. And if you go down that road and you have horrible testosterone anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. If you have good testosterone, you're a younger guy, which SARMs have affected so many younger guys because so many influencers push the shit out of it, then you'll be one of those guys that you'll be calling me when you're 21 years old, and you're like, shit, I ran one thing on these SARMs, Rad 140, and now I'm here. So it's totally on you. It's your body. I'm just giving you the ultimate warning. I see at least 1,000 blood tests come back from SARMs and younger guys, and their natural production is shit. Excuse my language. I apologize. It's very, very poor. Very, very poor. So you choose.
Yeah, I agree with you, Johnny. Johnny, you killed it. You killed it. And the main thing is everybody already knows SARMs is bad for you. So the point of this and this discussion is stuff that will make your body healthy without hurting. Again, optimizing your body. And that's why the blood work's important. We don't want you to be going down the wrong path anyway. And so, again, you guys have to decide who you want to listen to. Do you want to listen to the guy that has no followers, that read something online from some guy that's gassed out of his mind, or someone that's done this and helped so many people, men, women? Let's jump into this rapid questions. I like this one.
Yeah, that's good. Hello, Mike. At what weight would you recommend using a lifting belt for RDL for beginners? I mean, you can use this at whatever weight, I guess, right? For support, Mike, or holding everything in tight. I mean,
I would absolutely not, especially for a beginner. There is no belt. There is no support equipment. You're trying to build your body. So if you're walking in the gym the first day, you don't want to put crutches on. So you're instantly putting a belt on your back. Develop some muscle. You're going to be using this back more than just in the gym, right? You're going to, hopefully your girl, you're going to, pick her up against the wall, kind of stuff like that. Don't want you to throw your back out. We want you to be a Titan.
That's right.
In the gym, out in life, and in the bedroom.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Go for another one, Jeffrey.
Feel that.
Benefits of red lights.
Ooh.
I mean, tons of benefits. I'm still trying to get one for outside. I haven't found a company that has an outside one, an outdoor one I can use. All of them are inside. But how many different health benefits for this? Anti-aging, inflammation. Like so many different health benefits for this. I mean, great for your skin, great for your hair. Like, just a lot. Recovery in general. I mean, red light is the go-to. So, I mean, I think this in hyperbaric chamber, I've been looking into getting one in the office over here so I can just go sleep in the hyperbaric chamber every day.
I highly recommend it. It's one thing that if I can do anything to help get blood flow without doing exercise, it's red light therapy. It's the stim. All those kind of machines to me are so beneficial. And I talked about this earlier. When I'm drying out like I am now, my body feels differently. And I get under the red light therapy and it just gets the blood flow. It feels like it's healing it without me putting stress on it. It's incredible. It's a great addition to BPC and TB500, the glutathione. So it's just an added tool. Make sure it happens.
Could they ever recover from SARMs?
What was it? Will they ever recover from SARMs?
Good luck. I guess at this question, it's like everybody's different. You should do some blood work and start fixing the body.
This doesn't matter if anybody's different or not. If you go on SARMs, okay, you're going to shut down your natural production. And at that point, you're going to have to kick it back on. If it kicks back on, I don't know what number it's going to come back as. The ways to kick it back on is you're going to have something that's going to kick on the FSH or LH in your body. 3 different ways you can do this. Enclomiphene or clomiphene, either one of those. HCG or straight FSH, injectable, which we have. Those are like fertility protocols too, but they will kick on. FSH is going to kick on follicle stimulating hormone in the brain, going to kick on luteinizing hormone. That signal is going to go to the testicles, ignite them. Testosterone is going to boost. Semen production is going to boost as well. You take HCG mimics the LH. So at that point, it mimics the luteinizing hormone to kick it on. Same thing's going to happen. Testosterone is going to go up. Semen production is going to go up. You're going to get more sex drive. Third way was like FSH and clomiphene or clomiphene, and those are going to kick on FSH and LH too as well. So those are the only real ways you're going to do this. Now, when you're doing something like this, estrogen could start going up and rising too as well, depending on your sensitivity to estrogen. So you might need a blocker to go along with this if you're going to do a post-cycle therapy treatment. Now, when you do a post-cycle therapy treatment, don't get your stuff from online. Don't do that ever. You're taking like a chance to like even boost your natural production to get back on there. Why? Go in, get blood tested, show your numbers like they are right now, like to us, to Titan, and we'll give you a protocol to help you get back to where you need to go. And if it doesn't go back to where you need to go, then we can look at other options like testosterone. This is how we kind of started at the beginning too. There was so many guys that I knew that were taking black market testosterone. And these guys were cycling. And at that point, like they're like, I gotta stop my cycle. I gotta get some post-cycle therapy. I'm like, listen, why even mess around, right? Like, why not just like get on testosterone, stay on testosterone, and that's it? Be done. But if you want post-cycle therapy, we can do that too. So, some of these guys would do post-cycle therapy, and most would come back at like 500, 600. I think that was the highest. Maybe I see one guy get back to 8, but not too many. So at that point, like, one way or the other, they're going to still have symptoms possibly, and they're going to be going down that path. But it's crazy.
Let's keep this going. We got another 6 questions. I think this is great. Congratulations. It's awesome. You're 63 at 680. The only thing I'd add to this is I'd love to know what your free testosterone is at.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the guy that was just training here, 53-year-old, he has 1,000 T level, 1,100, and he is natty, but his free testosterone is at 8. So he has this huge gas tank, which is unreal, right? It's better than a guy that's doing stuff.
And he's made incredible
results. But his free testosterone is in the tanker.
Yeah.
So he's dripping that out. It's an interesting, and Clark Bartram was the same way. Clark Bartram was another guy who's 62.
Looks crazy.
1,000, looks unreal, but he's always looked unreal.
Yeah.
But his free testosterone is down. So
You can unleash the free with a testosterone like that, but it might lower it when you unleash it. That's the only thing.
I know you always say that. And I know that's on the safe side. For me, it seems like
I don't know how many patients we had come through, right? They've had a really good total testosterone, 700, 800, even somebody had 900. But their free was low, real low, like clinically low. And they're like, well, I want to fix my free testosterone. We're like, well, we're kind of in a qualm here. If we use Danazol will guarantee boost your free testosterone past the reference range. One pill is going to take you there. The problem is your total testosterone is going to come down. They say it's okay, but the next blood test, when their free testosterone is through the roof, and let's say they go from 800 to 600, they're upset about it. And I'm like, well, you feel better? I'm feeling a little bit better, but I probably feel better if my total testosterone was still higher. So at that point, like, it's just something that we don't like to mess with unless they're on testosterone. Because there are guys that go on testosterone that still get bound up. The SHBG binds with the testosterone, so it's not free. And at that point, what happens is they have the lower level. So if they're on testosterone, then we pump them on that. Now, even if they're on like a natural way, like in clomiphene or ATG, we can do Danazol along with that. We just don't want people to be upset when they see a lower range. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know why it does that. It suppresses natural production a little bit of total, but free is just, like I said, through the roof. What's best for high anxiety during cycles? Well, if you're having high anxiety, there's probably something that's off. Because if you're running a high, or if you're running a cycle, and a cycle could be a million different things, I guess. But let's say you're running testosterone, nandrolone, and Winstrol. Okay. So at that point, if you're running these at high doses, that's not going to make you anxious. You're not going to have anxiety from running these things. The real anxiety comes from an imbalance of hormones. And at that point, from the imbalance, you're getting anxiety. Now, there are some people out there that have anxiety naturally. And at that point, they might be scared of big crowds or whatever it may be. So one thing that I would say to implement in your regimen if you're having this, one, I would make sure that everything's in balance if you're on a cycle. If you're not on a cycle, our Titan Serenity is a great one. Magnesium, taurine, L-theanine. This is made for people that have social anxiety, that might have high anxiety, that don't want to use controlled substances. And it works very, very well. So at that point, that's what I would use if I was on this. But I'm telling you, if you have high anxiety during a cycle, and you don't have anxiety when you're not on a cycle, there's something that is off and is causing this, or a drug is causing this. So I would look at that first.
Titan Serenity. Perfect. Patches for TRT.
We don't do them. I don't know if there's any patches out there anymore. There's creams, there's gels, there's pellets, we're looking at doing some patches because the patch delivery system isn't a bad system. They have it for all kinds of narcotics and stuff like that, or even lidocaine. And they've had these patches forever. So we are looking at possibly patches. I just don't know how many patients of ours would use a patch for TRT because it would have to constantly be on them, and you'd have to rotate places. You couldn't just take off the patch and put a patch back on the same place. If you did, you would irritate the skin pretty badly. Okay, so patches sound great, but functionality of using a patch all the time is not optimal, and it will not feel good. If it's, hey, listen, I'm going to use a patch for like 4 weeks to deliver this medication so I get better and I don't have no pain, it's a whole different story. If you're saying, listen, I have low testosterone and I'm possibly have to be on testosterone the rest of my life if I want to feel this good, then patches are definitely not going to be the best way to do this. I got switched from my TRT needle to gel rub-on. Well, how's that going for you? Because usually it's the opposite way. Usually there's people that have phobia of needles, they don't like needles, that want to use testosterone. And then they usually go with like a gel, a cream, a troche, which is oral sublingually, or some other route, right? I would go back to, I like the needle, I like injection, transportation, absorbency, not have to consistently rub it on every single day. And here's the difference. When you're rubbing in the gel or cream on, if you're a male and you have some hair, it's not going to absorb so good in those areas. So you got to pick areas where you don't have that much hair. And if you're like me, you're probably hairy all over, which hopefully I'm getting taken care of here soon. But at that point, it is what it is. So, you can have great absorption one day. Let's say you rub it on your shoulder, you just shaved, or the next day it's a lot more hairy and you're not getting as much absorption, probably not feel as good. So it's inconsistent in the way that you would feel, and I don't like that. Is it normal to feel hot after a few days after taking testosterone? So Javier, you could be heating up, right? That furnace is heating up, and thermogenesis is happening in the body. It could happen like that. Most guys do run hot, especially on testosterone. I'm one of them. I'm like a polar bear. You walk in my house, it's 65 degrees, literally. So, it is what it is. Like, if you're on testosterone, you might have a little bit of thermogenesis going on, which might make you a little bit hotter than normal. That's okay, though. What gets you in the zone at the gym? Me, because I train by myself, it's the music, it's the playlist. The music is everything, even in movies. Music and audio make movies, make scenes, and they make emotion. Mm-hmm. That's what comes across on the screen, right? So that emotion goes to my eardrums, into my body, get me pumped up. Like there's certain songs, like depending on what kind of day it is and what kind of playlist I'm going to play. So that's what gets me going. We're looking at the results afterwards. I don't know. That gets me going too in the midst. What about you, Mike? I know you don't have headphones on when you're training.
No, I don't. I definitely don't do music. Absolutely not. Sorry, guys. Yeah, music distracts me and my training partners. So,
have you tried to train with like music, like some heavy, like Metallica, or like just something that's just freaking crazy, like you just like want to bash somebody's skull in? Did you ever connect with any music any time? Gladiators, football, like has it ran any emotion through you, or you just self-switch it on and that's it?
Well, I've been in the gym since I was, 11 years old. So I've been in gyms that I didn't have the privilege that I have. I've only been able to do that at Gold's Gym where there's no music until I leave. Music goes off when I come in and it starts up when I leave. So it's just one of those things. No, I never. It's the voice in my head that gets me. Yeah.
I like it.
That's
a good question.
Yeah, but I'm a very angry man inside, so I got a lot of voice. So it's one of those things. I don't need Metallica and stuff. I got a lot of stuff going on up there you don't want to hear.
Oh man. All right. Hey guys, what is the best level to keep running testosterone levels at if you're 50 years young? 1,200. 1,200 is a good mark.
1,200, boom, just right out there.
Why did we?
I like it.
We heard 15.
Maybe.
Why would 12 to 1,500? I'd say in that range. Anything above that, I wouldn't go. Like, like I had some guy, we did this fantastic seminar yesterday with Janet Ludwig at BB Pro. Everybody was there. A lot of these pros are coming up to me afterwards, come and talk to me like, hey, listen, I want to get some blood work done, and like they're telling me what they're doing. And one guy asked me, he's like, hey, he's like, can I see, what's the test I can get that I can see like the unbound range? Okay. So if you look at any lab that we would do on a patient, free or total, the total specifically, there's a cutoff point. So if you're at 1500 above, it says 1500 above. It's not going to go any more and tell you, hey, listen, you're at 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. So there is a test out there that you can do to do this. And it's called like a free and total LCMS. And that will tell you your undocumented range. I used to do it in the beginning for guys, but it started getting really crazy. And at that point, like we take liability for people that we provide blood tests for. So at that point, we're like, hey, listen, this is not a good method. We were seeing people come. I'd seen one guy literally come back at 10,000. And the guy was maybe 200 pounds, maybe 210 pounds. And he told me he was taking like 2.5 grams a week. I was like, I don't even know where you're injecting that first off. But second off, I'm like, 10,000, bro? I'm like, you obviously ain't utilizing 10,000, so there's no reason for you to take that much testosterone, right? But we won't do it. We just won't do it for people anymore. So you don't need that much. If you're shooting that much testosterone just to see how high you can get, what's that doing for you? It's not doing anything. Receptors are only taking it so much. So I'm stuck at 14 reps for weight. I need to do 20 reps on for a competition. Should I be doing a weight I can do 20 reps, or cluster sets at weight or heavier weight for power? I mean, at this point, I don't know. I mean, you're gonna want to probably like go up in weight, so this weight's not as much, and you can do more reps. Recovery is gonna be a part of that. I don't know. What do you think, Mike, on this one?
I think if you're doing 14, you can go 20. At a certain point, it's not the weight; it's just your mental state.
Ooh, he threw up the curve on that one.
Sorry.
That's
You're
good.
getting 14 reps or something. You can just grit it. You could just it's the smack in the face. You just got to do it.
Think about how many times people do that. They sabotage themselves by thinking like that, or saying, I can't do it. I've done it before when I was younger, for sure, 1,000,000%.
It's an old school thing. Don't set the number. I'm going to do 12 or 13. It's like, let me just freaking go.
Right.
You just freaking go.
How were you able to achieve 315-pound shoulder press? I'm currently at 205. He's a machine.
I don't know. I was young, man. I was 19.
Oh shit!
Just,
19 years old, man. Do shoulder press at 315 pounds, Mike.
yeah, the one cool thing was I grew up in an era where 315 wasn't considered heavy. And so you got to understand that it was my mindset, just like the last guy saying about he gets 14.
There's who you were hanging out with.
It's who I'm hanging out with. It was the people I'm seeing. These are the greatest, these guys I didn't realize were the greatest in the world. But to me, that guy was benching 600 pounds, Doug Furness, 36-inch thighs. So I'm a 13-year-old kid seeing these guys do their lifts. And there was just, okay, if you can do this, I can do this. If one person can do it, I'm going to do better, and I'll be in shape doing it. So it's just one of those things. And like anything, you just got to go in the gym and train proper with the rep range, and the sets are all chest game. It's a chess game with your nervous system. That's all it comes down to. I think people don't think that. I think they think reps and stuff is for muscle building and that's it. It's like, no, it's used to get your nervous system so you can handle bigger weight. The guy doing 14 reps at a thing, take it up, get the nervous system used to it, and go up to 400 pounds for 15 and then come down to 315 for 35 reps. Same thing for shoulder press or anything else. Just keep building. Use the numbers though, everybody. I think you really got to understand those numbers aren't just, I did 12 sets, I'm getting in shape. There's more to it. If you look deep enough, there's always an incredible depth and chess game going on. We're not playing checkers. Johnny, my man, you absolutely destroyed today.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. Monday, I know it's crazy for everybody, so I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely, and I know that I saw some videos of Peter this last couple of days pitching, and I got to say, man, it is impressive to see a kid that size, that age, just that the form he has, man. You got a stallion of a son, and I'm proud of you. Proud of you, as a father, man.
Definitely proud. Definitely proud. Yeah, he killed it Saturday, man. He really did. I was impressed. I was impressed. So. He always does good, you know, getting better and better.
Keep doing it, man. We've been without our kid for a couple weeks here. We want to drop him off in Romania, and we're sending him over to Dagestan for 3 years to wrestle.
Hey,
So
man.
let's get a pose out here. Oh, and Jeffrey even skipped it. We don't want Jeffrey to pose. He's got 20-inch pipes, so big and round from forearm to shoulder. Thanks, Johnny. We'll talk soon.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, buddy.